welcome back to the Mark Bay Senior National Championships. My name is Chloe and I'm here with Paul to welcome the next day, the second day of action, and it's all doubles to start us off with. Can you give us a little bit of a recap about what we saw yesterday? Because there was a bit of an upset, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a great day yesterday. I'll come on to the singles in a minute because that was really interesting as well. But yeah, the mixed doubles, first round, Tom Jarvis, Tintin Ho, top seeds. Never won this as a pair before. Tintin's won it several times with other partners. Tom never won it. And he's not going to this year either because they were knocked out sensationally from 2-1 down by Robert Pelk and Sophie Early. Robert and Sophie have since gone on to reach the semi-finals. We'll start there. It's actually in the middle of the day, but we'll start there. The two semi-finals are on courts 1 and 2 at I think that's at 1 o'clock today. So yes, Sophie and Robert are up against Connor and Anna Green, the twins from Nottingham. Yeah. And then Cheyenne Siraj and Jasmine Wong, who are last year's runners-up. They're playing the second seeds, Joseph Hunter and Tia Yu. So that's going to be a great, and they're 12:15. I beg your pardon. It's 1 o'clock is the final. So I'm frantically scrolling on my phone here. We don't have auto cue. We're not that sophisticated. So yeah, 12:15 for the semis, 1 o'clock for the final, and anyone's to win. Nobody left who's ever won it. Josh Bennett was the only player left in the quarterfinals who's ever won the mix before. He won it with Tintin 6 years ago. So there will be new names on that trophy. So very exciting. Just to go back to the singles, I promised to talk about what happened yesterday. Some fantastic results for young England players. So Isaac Kingham, Abraham Salado, Max Radiven, they've all won WTT Youth Contender medals over the last couple of years. And I guess it's what should happen at the Nationals. They beat higher ranked players, not England squad players, but higher ranked players. They got through. Abraham actually did beat one of the England players, Rohan Danny. But yeah, they've got through to set up the match of their lives in every case. So Max is playing Sam Walker. Right. Isaac Kingham is playing Paul Drinkall. Bless him, he didn't think he had much chance yesterday. I mean, realistically, maybe he doesn't, but
it's still nice to see the younger youth players kind of coming through to challenge, the England squad that's, been in place for some time. I think that's really exciting, even that they're getting to that stage in the competition and kind of coming through beating those higher ranked players.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people might say, they'll see it as a free hit. They probably shouldn't see it that way. They should approach it exactly the same as any other opponent. And you never know. I mean, it's highly unlikely, let's be fair. Perhaps Abraham Salado, I don't mean to be unfair to Connor Green, who's his opponent. Perhaps that is more likely. Right. Connor's improved a hell of a lot, though, recently. So, of course, I don't think many people would give the three youngsters the chance of coming through, but they, if they give a good account of themselves, hold their own, keep their opponents honest, then that's all part of the progress. So yeah, that's exciting. And those singles finals, they start after the mixed. So from about 1:45 onwards, I think the women's singles are up first. Then the men's singles, they'll be played over sort of 2 or 3 sessions. Of time slots, if you like, on the court. So just to remind everyone, we're all live on TTE TV all day, all 6 tables. Don't worry if you don't see anything on table 6 in the first time slot. That one doesn't start until 10, but every other time slot is already open, and the players I can see below me, well, the umpires are now on court. Players are gathering with their coaches just off the court, so that's about to start now. So head over to TTE TV. That's free for all Table Tennis England members. You can find details on our website. If you're not a member, of how to sign up for one of our free membership packages. You can choose to buy a pass to watch today's play as well if you wish, but go for the free option. And the more members, we like members, so come and join us if you haven't already.
Thanks for that, Paul. So the first match up on table 1, we've got Piwowar. So we've got another brothers combination, and also Doran and Radiven. So what do you make of the men's doubles pairings this year? Have you seen some interesting combinations?
Well, I think the thing that most people will notice is that Pitchford and Drinkall are not playing together. They've won this event 8 times over the years. They have won with other partners on occasion. I think Liam won with Gavin Evans, his first national title. I wouldn't like to say what date that was, but 2010, 11-ish, I would think. Paul's won it as well with David, and is defending his title with Sam Walker. They've chosen to keep that team together. Liam's got an interesting choice. He's playing with Ashley Facey, a para player who's just stepped away from the para pathway now, but still obviously a very good player. Plays British Clubs League's Championship level, and left-hander, so left-hand right-hand combination is never a bad thing, of course. So I'll be really interested to see how they go. Another left-hand right-hand, you mentioned Max Radiven and Chris Doran. They are getting ready on court below. That's an interesting combination as well. Young, I'm not going to call Chris old, he won't forgive me for that, but younger and older player, let's say. Two very exciting players. Chris is always a fan favourite, and great hands, real showman. Max has got a little bit of that about him. He's, as I say, he's a WTT medalist, so he's got some real quality about his game. But he's a little showman in there as well, I think. Must mention as well, we've got para players, and if you tune into Court 3 at the moment, Chris Ryan and Romain Simon are kicking off the 2 to 5 class. We've got 2 Paralympic medalists. Actually, we've got 3. I'll explain that in a moment. But Jack Hunter-Spivey and Megan Shackleton both won medals in Tokyo. So did Chris Ryan, but not in table tennis. He was captain of the gold medal winning wheelchair rugby team, and he's since then moved to table tennis. Beat Jack Hunter-Spivey at this event last year in the groups, although on countback Jack made the final. But interesting transition from one sport to another, and obviously that elite mindset is serving him well. We've also got para 6 to 10, so 2 Tokyo, 2 Paralympic medalists in there. Aaron McKibben's actually won medals at 3 Paralympic Games, and Billy Shilton. Billy also a world champion. So some exciting play in prospect as well in the para classes.
So a really exciting day of action. We've got Table 1 on YouTube today, but all the other tables are on TTE TV. So be sure to tune in there to see the rest of the action and all those matches that Paul was talking about. So we'll be back in a bit to comment on this game, this men's doubles game. So tune in a few minutes. Good morning. If you've just tuned in here, we are here with the men's doubles on the second day of action at the Mark Bates Senior National Championships. On the far side in the green, we've got Max Radiven and Chris Doran. Chris was in the commentary booth with us yesterday. I wonder if he'll join us again later on today. And on the near side, we've got 2 brothers, Casper Piwowar and Jacob Piwowar. It's going to be an interesting match. I think brothers have always got a good sense of each other's game. They've probably played with each other a hell of a lot. The far side, I think, is an interesting combination. We've got Chris Doran, who is a very experienced player. Great touch, great feeling for the ball. and just a great knowledge of the game with a younger player, Max Radiven, who's had some really good success in recent WTT tournaments in his age group, who also I think has got a bit of a showman's streak and a really good touch and feel for the ball. So I am really fascinated to see how this all plays out. The Doran-Radiven combo is taking an early lead. You can see that Chris is choosing to kind of stay a little bit further back when Max is serving. Kind of expecting an explosive response from the younger Piwowar. A little touch, but it had too much backspin on it. Into the net, slightly misjudged, needed a little bit more dig. Not a bad idea though to kind of move Doran in and then play out. Oh, lovely. It was a nice strawberry flick from Doran on the far side. A great response from Piwowar, and then Doran just absolutely belted it down the line from quite an awkward position, but that's just the kind of player that he is. That his feeling for the ball, his ability to get into those positions. And you just don't expect the response, but you've always got to expect the response from Doran. Doran to serve, Max choosing to keep on the far side. He's expecting to come in with that forehand. A lefty-righty combination, always popular when it comes to doubles. As we were saying just before, Liam's playing with Ash Facey. It's also a left-hand, right-hand combination. Really effective for coverage of the table, really effective for if you've both got strong forehands for coming in with the attack. Nice little chop block there from Doran. And a good spinny kill. Not the fastest, but just absolutely loaded. It was kind of curling with side a little bit too, and Casper just wasn't able to handle the spin. A good angle there from Jacob. I think that's going to have to be the tactic for the Piwowar team. They're going to have to outmaneuver them, get those angles. It was a good idea there from Doran. I couldn't see if it had missed the table there, but he came in for the backhand flip, but just got his length a little bit misjudged there. So the Piwowar team are not letting this first game go without a fight. They've been able to crawl back the last couple of points. Doran and Radiven are not quite managing to finish the job. Giving them another crack at match point. Oh, it's a little bit of tension there you can see in Max Radiven. Trying to come in for the attack, but his top line was a bit stiff. Sometimes I think it can be nerves in these big competitions, especially for the younger players. Oh, it was a lovely response from Casper there. So the younger team, the Piwowar team, do seem to be a little bit more relaxed, maybe because they kind of know that the odds might be against them here, and sometimes that can help. You just know you have to play your best. Some more defensive tactics from Doran and Radiven, just kind of taking the step back, getting it on the table, playing it a bit safe to try and claw back those points. But that might be the way to go, a little bit of dig, a little bit of chop. might help them with these two players who've got a very attacking game. Might not be used to. Oh, brilliant. I say defensive, and then Doran comes in with an absolutely brilliant blackhand flick. Complete power in that backhand. Shot off the table. The serve was too bouncy for it not to receive a response like that. Oh, much better from the far side team. Max came in for that forehand flick again, the one that he'd missed a couple of points previously, but you could see that he was more relaxed. He went for the shot. He had, his elbow was a little bit more bent. He didn't have a stiff upper body, and that helped them to win the point. A brilliant start to the men's doubles matches that we've got on today. If I have a little look around, the other tables, they are live on tte.tv. So that's table 2 to 6 that you can watch on tte.tv. On table 2, we've got Toby Ellis and Asadum versus Danny Encelado. So both young teams. I would like to call this one, actually. I think the Danny Salado team would probably be my favourites. Abraham's been playing some wicked stuff recently, especially on the international scene. Over on table 3, we've got Power Match. Danny Rohan, who looks like he's down a set at the moment, but he might be able to pull it back. So all of those tables, they're available to watch. Apart from table 6, if table 6 isn't up yet, that's because it has a slightly delayed start, so don't be worrying if you're trying to join us on table 6. Right, back over to table 1. Our players have rejoined. Nice pink shirts. I couldn't see them quite well from behind the two boys, but I actually quite like the Piwowars get up. Both Doran and Radiven have the EBAT logo on their backs. Radiven's been playing at EBAT for quite a long time now. It's Eli Batty's club in London. Also, Rebecca Savage was wearing that logo on her shirt yesterday as well. She was paired in the mixed doubles with Andrew Bagley. A really interesting combination. They were unfortunately knocked out by Tiana Yu and Josh Bennett. Some solid positioning there from the two Piwowars. I think that has become the tactic, that they've just got to try and get Doran out of position, that then makes it a little bit harder for Max to come in with his shots. Some nice side spin on that serve there. Doran just needed to aim it a little bit more mid-table. Maybe was acting a little bit too much on instinct and it went flying further than he wanted. The Piwowars have a lead in the second game. They've been playing some really strong stuff, actually. Mainly just using those angles and moving them in and out to try and disrupt this pair. I'd like to see what Doran and Max do to kind of disrupt the form of the two boys, because so far it looks like they are playing some really nice stuff. They're keeping their forms quite strong. I think the Doran and Radiven combo is a little bit more chaotic, but then their feeling for the ball and their movement has kind of helped them to pull it back. I think if they're not careful, they could end up getting misplaced by some of these other lads. Oh, what a great point That was brilliant. Let's have a quick look at that again. Yeah, it was going all over the net. And all over the place. That was chaotic. A brilliant, brilliant point. We had Chris Doran up here in the commentary booth the other day. We might end up getting him back here for the mixed. If there's anyone else that you'd like to see in the... Who would you like in the commentary booth? Who would you like me to pull in? We can have some special guests. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to hear in the commentary booth. Doran and Radiven struggling in the second game. You can definitely see that there's been a change in tactic from the Piwowar boys. Yeah, really focusing on those angles and that movement. Yeah, Max isn't being able to get in with his shots. He's not being allowed to get in with that forehand and attack like we know he wants to. They're keeping him quite short. And they're keeping the spin difficult. I think Max is also a little bit prone to rushing when he's nervous, so he's got to be careful that he doesn't start taking that up. It looks like the second game might be getting away from the guys in green. And that was a nice miss. It's hard to tell sometimes over at this angle whether or not the ball hits the table. I thought that might have been a winner from Jacob. A lovely angle right down the line. Kind of faded his bat away as well there, Jacob. Made it look like he was going cross court and then just kind of opened his bat angle slightly and spun it down the line. Doran wasn't expecting it and he was out of position. That seems to be the favourite tactic of the two, and it's being effective for them in the second game. Getting Max and Chris out of position, not letting them play their shots, not letting them come in with those lethal forehand hits, although Chris got an absolute banging backhand on earlier on. Let's have a look at that point from earlier. Off the net. Yeah, just a wicked point. I mean, you've got to go for it when it comes off the net. You can't let it... You can't just think that that's it, that it's done. There's always a chance you can get it back. And the rally is kind of saved from that point onwards. Joining us back on Game 3. If you're joining us here, welcome to the Mark Bates Senior National Championships. This is the men's doubles. An exciting new pairing on the far side against the Piwowar brothers. I think now Doran and Max are going to have to think about how they can be more of a disruptive pairing. I'd say that out of the two, Doran is the more disruptive player. I think he's the harder player to figure out. I think Max has got a slightly more conventional style, But it's how they work that together. The brothers will know each other's games very well. They'll know what's on each other's serves. They'll know how to set each other up. Whereas on the far side, although an interesting pairing, depending on how much they've actually practiced together, I think Max might struggle with Doran's unpredictability in terms of what he knows is coming back. Nice forehand there from Max, leaning back a little bit out of position. But it doesn't matter in the end. If it goes on the table, it goes on the table. A little bit of tactic talk on the far side. We haven't seen anyone doing codes under the table, but that tactic seemed to work. A little bit of side spin on Doran's serve that forced it to go into the forehand so that Max could take that hit. Oh, great angle. That is the lethal forehand that I was talking about before. We haven't seen it much this game because the Piwowars have been quite successfully keeping it off Max's stronger side. A 6-point lead now for the Doran and Radiven combo. Oh, it was a lovely down the line stroke, but that shot from Casper just so well picked up and sent across court. Nice serve choice. Bit of top spin and side spin there, and Max wasn't, although he was ready on his forehand, he wasn't ready to get it there on his forehand. It was a little bit too far round. Bit of a code there from Max to Doran, so they have figured out some stuff. It turns out to be a good choice. A long serve. I think he's been trying to keep it short. Now they're going a bit more on the attacking side. Trying to force the Piwowar boys to put the ball where they want it so they can come in with their more confident shots. That was an interesting choice from Doran to try and hit a very backspin ball. He seems a bit annoyed at himself as well. And he did it twice. Maybe a bit of frustration there. You know, feeling like he should be able to pick up those serves, but they are. The spin is heavy. You can see the way that Casper kind of comes underneath the ball on those backhand serves. They are not easy to pick up. Maybe with a bit of a bigger roller shot, but then you're making yourself vulnerable to a hit. It's a nice slow loop from Casper. But Jacob wasn't quite ready on the response. They've managed to pull it back a little bit though. They're now down 5-8 to the other team. They were 6 points behind previously. And that's the positioning. They got it into Doran's crossover point there. A great decision. They've just got to keep their cool and not panic. 2 points down. Will they be able to pull the game back? Doran whispers something to Radiven. I wonder if they're going to set themselves up for another forehand attack from Max. Jacob serve. Nice. Much better red from Radiven on that serve. Didn't go for the crazy forehand shot. And instead set up his teammate. That's what it's all about in doubles. You can't just think about what you would like to come back because you're not the one receiving it. You have to think about your teammates' strengths. What do they want to receive? How can you make that happen for them? More tactics on the far side. Let's see what they were talking about. Wow. And it was a nice spin up from Doran. I think Max tried to block Jacob's response, but it was, I don't know, a bit of a weak response there. I don't know if he was not expecting it down the backhand. I wouldn't say that blocking is Max's usual game. Perhaps a bit of confusion about how to deal with the spin. There's a timeout now. Doran and Radiven called a timeout. This is a crucial game at this point. Each team has a set, and it really could go either way at this point. This could be a really crucial turning point in this match. The Piwowar brothers have come back. They were 6-0 down at the start, and they've managed to pull it back. Should be making their other team nervous. And it should be, because they're strong players. They're not going to go down without a fight. I think the brothers' strengths is how well they know each other's game. Although Doran and Radiven have got the shots, they've got the feeling. You can kind of tell that that synergy isn't there, that practice isn't there. They're struggling to give it to each other's strengths. Apart from, there were a couple of really good setups on the serve earlier. Oh, nice. Max got all the way almost down to the floor then to loop that shot, the heavy backspin. Came right up the back. Beautiful shot. Casper to serve. One of our England youth squad members. Oh, that was a really good touch there. That's what I mean when I talk about the brothers really knowing each other's game. There was a little bit of topspin on Casper's serve. It looked backspin, but it was a bit more floaty, which meant that Max's response just came up a little bit too high, a little bit too bouncy, and Jacob could kill it. And that's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly the play they wanted. Ten all. Will Doran be able to set up his teammate? Oh, and he does beautifully. Again, with a little bit of side spin. It was forced to go into the forehand. Right where Max wanted it. That's where he was waiting for it to go. And a beautiful response down the line. I think he's rather happy with himself to do a little jump up and down, keep the momentum going, see if they can get these next 2 points. Back to 11 all. Quick conference on the other side. They've got to keep their cool if they want to take this next one. Oh, what brilliant rally. It was really good spin from Jacob, and Jacob did very well to counter Doran's spin on that kind of slow open up. Another pop-up match point for the far side. Oh, that was beautiful. So clean. I tell you what, when these two brothers are playing, you know, the quality of some of their shots is just unbelievable. Oh, it's really hard to call. It's tit for tat at the moment. I think possibly something a little bit different might be what's needed to push one of the team over the line. A little bit of unpredictability at this point. It's a gamble, but I think for these teams it might pay off, and that did. Doran down the middle with a backhand spin into the crossover, which wasn't able to be returned. Will he be able to tip it over the line and secure his team this next game, this next set? Oh! A bit of a dodgy way to do it, but needs must. Off the net. All over the net in that last point. Let's just have a little relook at that. Yeah, Doran catches the net. And then a really quite explosive exchange before Max catches, I think it's the net, and then even maybe the edge in that last one. So well picked up. You can see the Piwowar boys really fighting, but on the other side you can see that Max's form, that ball was going on by hook or by crook. You know, you can see that even if it was a net, an edge, or what, that boy was getting the ball back on the table. Really great to see that kind of fight. And that leaves the Doran Radiven combo 2 games up. Piwowar brothers still have one. They still might be able to pull it back. You know, it's not over until it's over. And they have been playing some really quality stuff. You know, we can't underestimate these boys. And Casper's backhand especially, I think, when he picks it up off a slightly short ball, he can get some really good... I think because he's a little bit shorter as well, he can kind of get around and get some really brilliant angles. You know, they move around the table so efficiently. Doran a little bit out of position there. He's looking for a hole in his bat, but a couple of inches to the side probably would have done better. Lovely angle there from Jacob. Came round, forehand from the backhand side. And again, a really strong angle. Ooh, is that a net or an edge? Oh, they've given it to the far side. Oh, that was a great serve choice. Taking their time a little bit more in this match, the Piwowar brothers. Trying to stop Chris and Max from getting into that rhythm. Oh, that kind of faded backhand across. Oh, I didn't see. Oh, putting a ball like that into Casper's forehand is a dangerous game. He's incredibly consistent on that side. Doran just gave him a little push. I think he was aiming to kind of curl it round and put a bit more dig in it, but you know, Casper was there. He was ready. It was the wrong shot to go for at that point. This is such a tight game. Tell us in the comments who you think might come up on top for this one. Do you think the combination's working? Oh, there's an attempt by Jacob there for a behind the back shot. But for every 3 that make it to Instagram, there are 10 more that hit the floor. Oh, snake shot from Doran. Very well judged by Casper to get it back on the table, but he could only get it up as a nice big bouncy shot for Max to kill. Such an awkward kind of snaky shot from Doran. Piwowar brothers are now taking their time out. They are keeping close to this team. You know, the scores have been very back and forth since they've kind of got back into their groove. Take a look at that point again from earlier. The last point of the previous game. Nets and edges galore. See if they're coming back to the table now. It's always difficult first game on as well in the morning. They haven't had a chance to properly warm up to being a doubles pair, especially our green guys on this end. If they haven't had that much chance to practice beforehand, coming in the morning, they might not be on their top form. But tactically, you know, Doran's got the table tennis brain. He knows how to set Max up, so the Max can kind of return the favour for Doran. Some nice responses. Keep the ball on the table. Essentially outplay them. Let them make the mistakes, be solid. Oh, that was really good. Nice fast and spinny forehand shot from Casper. If you're joining us on YouTube, be sure to head over to tte.tv for the other matches. Looking over, trying to survey on table 6, you've got Jarvis and Macbeth playing against Cheyenne and Billy Shilton. really good match heading over there. And on table 5, we've got Sam Walker and Paul Drinkall playing Gabriel Achampong and Victor Guyang. Liam and Paul have won in the men's doubles for quite some time, so it's interesting to see these now pairing up with Sam Walker. I wonder if they will be as effective of a team. But yeah, all of those matches are over on tte.tv. If you're a member of Table Tennis England, you can watch them all for free, so head over there. We're live, Table 1 on YouTube. But all the action is heading up over there. We've got all of the tables being streamed this year, complete coverage of the event. So head on over. Back onto this game. And it seems like Chris and Max have got into their purple patch. They've managed to break away from the Piwowar brothers, put a little bit of gap between them, make it a bit more of a challenge for them to pull it back. Is that let serve? I don't know. Casper needs a good serve now to try and pull them back into the danger zone. Oh, what a brilliant response from Max. He saw that coming along. He took a little bit of a step backwards so that he could respond with his forehand, and that's done it for the Chris Doran, Max Radiven team. And I must say, I'm a fan. I think as the day goes on, this team is only going to get stronger. I think a little bit awkward. It took them a little bit of a while to get into their stride at the beginning there, but once they found it, I think they were really doing well for each other's game. And an interesting pairing as well, the way that they both use spin, the way that they're both quite awkward players. I think as soon as they figure out how to kind of tune in to each other's game, they're going to be a really formidable pair. So exciting stuff. We'll see when they come back into the next game, and hopefully we'll manage to drag Chris Doran back into the commentary box to help me out with the mixed doubles later. Right, we've got a bit of a gap now. We're not commentating through the whole day, so I'm going to leave you here for a little while, but we'll be back soon, and we might be able to drag some special guests in to join me or to join Connor Whitehead later on in the day. So if you've got any suggestions of who you'd like to see up in the commentary booth, who you'd like to talk to, who you'd like to get some advice from, please do put it down in the comments, and we will do our best to come and talk with them. If you want to head over to table 2, we've still got the Ellis and Asadom combo versus the Danny and Salado combo. Really tough match. They're currently on their first game at 9-all, so very, very tight. And we'll be back shortly. Speak to you soon. Bye. Oh, you know what? I wasn't going to do the next game, but looking at the lineup, looking at who we've got, I think I might just jump in and give it a go. So on the far side, we've got a new combo of Liam Pitchford and Ashley Facey-Thompson. A lefty-righty combo. And on the near side, we've got Cornish and Nugent. I really like watching Ollie Cornish play. I've seen him a few times at the championships in Nottingham, or the club's championships. It's just got a really fluid style. It's really great to watch. And he's quite exuberant as well, which is always entertaining. Oh, looks like we might already have a broken ball. Liam's just checking it, handing it to the umpire. Getting a new one. Well, at least it's happening now and not in the middle of the game. We'll blame the broken ball on Doran, shall we? Really fantastic to see some of our British Power players playing with some of our England team members. I think that's just a testament to the quality of the British Power division that we have. You know, these players are quality. I think Ashley's kind of taken a bit of a step back from British Power in recent times, but I think he'll be hungry for this title. He's got a strong chance playing with Liam. I wonder if they've been able to practice. I mean, both of them will be training at Sheffield sometime, so I wonder if they'll have practice there at the development centre. Pitchford looking at the ball again. I wonder if he's wondering if the umpire's fed him enough one. A little bit of tactics talk. It was a good setup from Pitchford. Actually still a little bit maybe morningitis, not being able to follow through on that forehand. Very, very hard with a new pairing to get straight into the rhythm. Oh, Liam's come back, said the ball's broken. This one's also broken. We'll see if he's happy with this one. Inspecting it, checking it. Oh, lovely angle there from Ashley. Good, solid response. Let service from Cornish. He gestures below the table. See if we can figure out from up in the commentary booth what the different gestures are. I couldn't see his hand there. Maybe by the end of the match I'll have it down. That's it. A few tacks into the middle of the table, forcing the Nugent Cornish pair to kind of rotate around each other. Quite an awkward movement, especially because they're both right-handed players. I mean, the beauty of the lefties is that you can have, if you've got strong forehands, you can cover all of the table with that forehand, with attacking shots. It can be quite relentless. Good positioning there. Finally, Pitchford and Facey have joined the board. A really rough start, but we're starting to see some of those shots kind of coming onto the table now. If you're joining us now for the first time, if you want to see some of the other action, switch over to tte.tv. On table 3 at the moment, we've got Paro, we've got Simon Heaps, who's currently up 9-4 against his opponent. An incredible Paro player. I think it was last year he got this absolutely incredible backhand shot against Hunter Spivey. It was a really great game, and you could see his reaction when he did it as well. It was just like a block, like straight down the line. It was wicked. Back to table 1, and it's Cornish to serve. Yeah, Ashley's dig is maybe not quite strong enough to stop the other team from attacking it, which kind of puts Pitchford on the back foot. Oh, that serve wasn't short of dig though. Almost to prove me wrong. Almost to prove that he can do it. He was like, I'm going to make a very, very spinny short forehand serve. Straight in the net. Oh, that flip. A Pitchford speciality on that backhand. They've managed to pull it back from a very rocky start for the Pitchford Facey squad. They've managed to pull it back and win that first set. I think the aim in this next set is going to be just to minimise those little mistakes, those little morning mistakes, try and get into the rhythm of each other's game. They seem quite relaxed, this team. I quite like the energy between them. There doesn't seem to be much tension. There's smiles on faces. I quite like this pairing. I think they're good energy for each other. I think sometimes when you've got a partner who's very intense, and that can come out in the game, that can cause tension in your shots. Although I think these two will want to win, they'll be feeling a little bit of pressure. I think they're good for each other in the fact that they're both can be quite laid back. They're just going to do what they have to do. Keeping it short, keeping it safe. Trying not to let the Cornish-Nugent team from coming in and attacking. Got to be really careful about the serve and return in this game. I think they've got to think about the strengths of the person that they're going to have to serve to. They're going to have to switch it up for the different players, I feel, because Ollie does have a nice pickup on his backhand. I think it takes a lot of spin for Ollie to kind of miss on that backhand lift, on that backhand pickup. So you've got to always expect it to come back. And it's not necessarily going to come back in a way that's ideal for a third ball attack for your opponent. So maybe getting Ollie out of position might be the way to go. Kind of a long serve into his crossover. If he's stood in such a way in doubles, it can be quite difficult to get into the crossover. Aiming for the elbow, I think, is maybe a better way of putting it than the crossover. I think people see the crossover as being kind of the mid of the table where you'd be stood if you were in ready position. If you aim for the elbow, that's always awkward, no matter where they're stood. Oh, that was a nice dig. Right down the line. Let's serve. was a tight serve. That's what he has to do. He has to get him out of position if he wants to serve, you know, into Cornish's backhand. And you know, when you can only serve into that quadrant, he'll always be ready on his backhand. So you have to make it difficult. You've got to still find a way to make him move, and that was exactly the right thing for Ashley Facey to do there. Bit of side spin that made the ball curl round so that he was just out of position. He wasn't able to pick it up. Although there's a few flying off here, I still think that the Pitchford Facey team is the more consistent of the two. By just being able to get it back on the table, she says, as Pitchford doesn't get it back on the table. But in the main, they do seem to be the more consistent team. Although they're determined to, you know what? Maybe I'm the cursed commentator. I call them consistent, and then they hit two of them off. Determined to prove me wrong. I haven't seen much tactically from either side at this point, to be perfectly honest. I haven't seen much evidence of the players really setting each other up the way that great doubles pairs do. But it is the first match on for both of these teams. Ten all. Close match. That's a bit of that just consistency. Just get it back on the table in a slightly awkward position. It wasn't the strongest shot from Pitchford, but it was where it needed to be on the table. Nice, it's solid stuff from Cornish and Nugent, you've got to say. They're not letting those mistakes go unpunished. And Pitchford and Facey are really going to have to up their game, up their tactics to try and come back into this, because, you know, the two boys in blue, they're hungry for it. They want that title, and, you know, every time that they don't get it on the table, having a little bit of a discussion on the far side here. I wonder if we might see a bit of a change in tactics. Nice. Solid drop serve. Oh, they're off to a running start now in this third game. Much better from both of them. I can see it's cleaner. Ashley did a brilliant backhand a couple of points ago just now. Spinning it up, just a quality shot. Oh, yeah. So much sharper. Yeah, Pitchford's not mucking around now. He's got his eye in on the ball. Very few mistakes in the first half of this third game. That was a nice spinny serve as well with top spin inside. That's what you got to do. Even if you think you're against a weaker team, you have to make sure that all of your shots are quality, that you put intention into everything that you're doing. Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there. There seems to be a bit of a dispute. It was a nice response from Facey. An awkward angle. I think Pitchford was quite ready for it to come back. And that's it. The third game has gone to Pitchford and Facey. A much stronger showing from these two in the third game. Just less mistakes, more intention. In the first couple of games, you know, it kind of felt like they were fumbling a little bit. They didn't really know how to play with each other. They were taking some chances that weren't maybe the right shots to go for. And now you can see the focus has come back. Face is getting some really excellent angles, especially on the return of serve, I've noticed. He's a good doubles partner in that respect. He's very good at getting those angles that get the position out of position. A little bit of back and forth on that one. Kind of blocking across court. Great shot there from Facey. Down the line, he was in the perfect position to take that shot. Liam made that return of serve look very easy, just kind of hooked round it, bit of side spin into the corner. Both teams having a little towel break at 3-all. For those of you who don't know, you can have a towel break every 6 points. It's a good way to break up the game. Take your time. If you're a little bit behind, kind of reset. If the other person's kind of hit that purple patch, they're not making many mistakes. It's a good way to break up their rhythm, is to take the towel break. We've had a couple of those serves from Ashley. Nice and diggy into the... I think Ollie can't decide whether or not he's returning them on his backhand or his forehand. His backhand's definitely the more consistent of the two. And I think against Ashley's spin, he struggles to pick it up on the forehand. He's made that mistake a couple of times, and Ashley's been putting a bit of side spin on it, so it kind of curls more into the forehand side. Have a little look at that point from before on the replay. Such a confident forehand from Ashley in this point. We're watching it again. He just... Yeah, he kind of... It's strange. He gives Pitchford his space on that far side. But it's such a confident forehand down the line. Really class. It takes confidence to do that, to kind of, you know, almost keep your distance from the table and know when to come in. That was really nice from Ashley as well. Match point. And unfortunately, a net serve is what seals it. That's it, and Pitchford and Ashley are through to the next round. I wonder who they'll see next. We'll be back later with more action from Table 1 of the Mark Bates Senior National Championships.
Hey, yeah.
Hello and welcome back to day 2 of the Mark Bates Limited Senior National Championships 2025. Table 1 action live and direct from YouTube. Right now we've got the para wheelchair class, Jack Hunter Spivey, Commonwealth Games champion, taking on Romain Simon. Jack's leading 2 games to love and 8-4 in this set. After this match, we will start with our men's doubles quarterfinals, where Paul Drinkall and Sam Walker, the number 1 seeds, will take on the youth and also experience of Connor Green and Ben Piggott. And I'm glad to say I'm joined by Chris Coburn, a very experienced player and also Table Tennis England Development Support Officer. Morning, Chris.
Morning, Connor. How are you?
Really good, mate. Excited for day 2 to get underway. You can watch all the action unfold on Table 1 on YouTube, and if you're really keen and want to watch Tables 2 to 6, all your favourite players will be live on tte.tv all day long, with every match streamed for the very first time.
Yeah, it's great news to have every match streamed. I know there's some players back home in Norfolk that will be wanting to see our Norfolk player Eve Reckles on some of the outside tables.
Brilliant. So Chris, obviously you're leading on a lot of the activations in the fan zone this year. Tell us what you've got going on in the fan zone and what some of the people that might be coming down to join us tomorrow or later on today might be getting involved in.
So today what we've got is some group sessions, group coaching and some one-to-ones going on. So that was part of a ticket package, so something a little bit extra this year. There's not been the sort of coaching going on in the fan zone before. Yesterday we had schools in here, so between 12 o'clock and 4:30 there was about 150 school kids that came along to get involved in coaching. That was delivered by the area team, so that went down really well. It was great as well. We had some Cho fingers, we got the kids in the crowd, and that created some atmosphere for some of the players in their group stage matches, and I heard some good feedback about that. And then tomorrow we've got a coach workshop going on, which is being led by Gavin Evans, so that'll be a good experience for anyone that's coming along to that.
Brilliant. That's amazing. I think it's always great for, young players or even the older players. I've seen some older players this morning sharpening their tools, getting some little tips from some of the England coaches, and what an amazing opportunity to be coached by Head of Performance Gavin Evans or Pathway Natalie Green. Also, I've seen around the hall a lot of promotion, and I know a lot of people are talking about the WTT feeder Manchester coming up. Tell us all about that event and how you can get involved.
Yeah, so Manchester feeder, that's taking place later on in April, so I believe it's from the 24th of April to the 27th of April. It's going to be a similar sort of setup. We're going to have a fan zone in the area again, so like we've got here, you've got some free tables, you can come in, you can bring your bats, you can borrow bats. We've got a box full of bats that you can test. There's 2 pong, which is some glove play, you've got speed gun, you've got a robot, there's VR, and we've got some sponsors here as well to advertise themselves, so you're going to get exactly the same as that in Manchester.
Brilliant. For anybody that doesn't know us, I'm Connor Whitehead and this is Chris Coburn, joining you live from the Mark Bates Limited Senior National Championships on Table 1. Next match coming up between Paul Drinkall and Sam Walker, taking on Connor Green and Ben Piggott. On Table 2, which you can watch live on TTE TV, we have Tom Jarvis and Dave Macbeth taking on Joseph Hunter and Larry Trumpauskas. Actually, the latter being the finalists last year. I think this year the doubles event is a little bit stronger in terms of the competition. What's your thoughts on the draw for this year's doubles?
So I haven't actually looked at the draw myself because I've been quite busy with the fan zone, but I know you've got some players that have entered the doubles this year that maybe weren't in the competition last year. To be honest with you, I think it's hard to look past the number 1 seeds, but I mean, just looking out there now, I can see you've got Chris Doran down there playing with Max Radovan. I know he's not playing in the singles this year, so that'll be interesting to see how they get on as a pair.
I stand corrected. On Table 1 it is Louis Price and Felix Thomas that will be taking on last year's champions. As you mentioned there, Chris and Max taking on Connor and Ben. Elsewhere around the hall we have the number 1 seed in the men's singles, Liam Pitchford, in action with Paralympic superstar out of retirement, Ashley Facey. Something that I was talking to Liam and Ashley about earlier today, how the combination came about. Check our social media channels to find out exactly why Ashley is back out of retirement and joining Liam Pitchford later on today. They're facing Nahom Askedom and Toby Ellis. That match is live on Table 5 on TTE TV.
It's good to see Ashley back competing again. I played him in the qualifier last year and he was one of the people that knocked me out of the qualifier, so I always try and qualify for this event. I've never made it so far, but I'll try again next year.
No, Chris, don't. We need you here, running the fan zone smoothly as always. Head to table 6 on TTTV if you'd like to watch legend Chris Doran. Chris joined me in the commentary box yesterday, did a stellar job on the commentary, and him and Max Radiven are now leading Ben Piggott and Connor Green 5-3 in the first end. Our para competition is well underway and live on table 3 and 4 with Billy Shilton taking on Jaden Caldera and Thomas Hepburn facing Megan Shackleton in the wheelchair class. Where do you see that one going on table 2, Chris, between Tom Jarvis and Dave Macbeth against last year's finalists Joe Hunter and Larry Trumpauskas?
You've got to go with the experience there, I think, but watching Joe and Larry play last year, they caused an upset. I mean, it's experience against youth, so it's always hard to call in those sort of matches. And
you know, I know Tom as a person probably his head won't be too down from yesterday's mixed doubles. However, he did lose in the mixed doubles last 16 yesterday. Real big shock of the day. Partnered with Tintin Ho, probably the number 1 pair in that mixed doubles event.
I think you're always more likely to get upsets in doubles. In singles, you know what spin you put on the ball, you know what ball's sort of coming back. Whereas particularly when you're playing with a partner who's got pimples as well, the ball's coming back with a slightly different spin. It does lead to more chance of an upset.
Another one of our guest commentators yesterday, Louis Price, we were discussing this quite a lot yesterday, how the doubles is going to work for those two guys, both being left-handed. Felix and Louis in the orange shirts, both Sam and Paul electing to wear the black shirts in this huge quarter-final matchup. Louis training full-time over in Germany, playing in the Bundesliga, I actually think in the same division as Paul Drinkall. Sam obviously still represents Oschenhausen in the German Bundesliga, and Felix also plays in Germany as well, so this is an English-German affair on table 1.
It is quite interesting to see a full left-hander pair. It's not something you often see. They must be the only left-handed pair actually competing here this weekend.
Obviously Sam and Paul, very experienced pair, know what they're doing, champions here. Paul 7-time singles winner, Sam in the search for his first singles title. However, Louis is well known for his serves. It's been very interesting to see how they receive those, especially in doubles, because you know where the ball's going.
Yes.
In doubles, I don't know if we've got any beginners watching at home or anybody that's watching table tennis for the first time. In doubles, you have to serve across, diagonally, and each player will take alternate shots in the rally.
You can see down here on table 5, Liam and Ashley have just won the first set. Close one here between Chris, Max and Connor and Ben, 9-7 to Chris and Max at the moment.
I think Chris and Max have got to be thinking, you know, there's a chance here of all the players that they could have been drawn against out of the top seeds. Obviously Ben and Connor being seed 4, it's probably the one that you would have liked to have faced. Obviously you wouldn't want to play Paul and Sam, Tom and Dave, Liam and Ash. You know, they've got to be thinking there's some chances there. And there certainly is.
Chris is a very experienced doubles player. He's got to the final with a variety of different partners.
We were speaking about this yesterday. If Chris is successful in winning this year's Nationals doubles, he might be the only player to win a national title in doubles with 6 different partners.
Wow.
To reach the final with 6 different partners even. Chris won the doubles title in 2011 with partner Danny Reed. Danny actually took on Paul Drinkall in the 2011 men's singles final. And here we are, about to get underway on table 1. Paul Drinkall and Sam Walker to serve first. Great touch from Sam there. Felix Thomas is the receiver. Felix yesterday did not advance from the group stage, although being number 1 seed. Losing out to young English talent Abraham Salado and Rohan Dani. Oh, a bit of fortune there from Paul, but great flick from Louis. Something that he has to be looking for in this match. Speaking a lot to Louis yesterday about what's the key in doubles, and you know, we both agreed that you've got to be on the offensive first, and that is what Sam and Paul are trying to do.
And it's interesting how the left-handed pair have to stand. So Louis, who is predominantly a forehand player, is having to stand quite mid-table while Felix is serving. Good backspin serve from Sam there.
Table 6, Connor Green and Ben Piggott actually took that end 12-10 after being down the whole way through the match. Live on table 1 this morning, Paul Drinkall and Sam Walker take on Louis Price and Felix Thomas in the quarterfinals of the men's doubles. Sam and Paul taking an early lead with quite a little bit of luck. There's no real flow to the game yet. Another net there from Sam and Paul. Speaking with Chris Doran yesterday, obviously, you've just seen Louis miss that counter topspin, and Chris is saying, a lot of players in here in the men's singles and the women's singles, a bit scared to spin up to the forehand side. However, the ball isn't carrying through. Hearing that from a lot of players in the practice hall. Practice hall's a little bit faster than the playing hall, maybe. What do you think the tactic has to be with where you spin that first ball to, especially in the doubles? It's a little bit different.
I think it's hard in the doubles. You probably have to try and pin the crossover. You have to keep your opponents guessing, particularly where you want to try and maybe make each other get in each other's way. You don't want to put it directly onto anyone's bat. I know it's a huge venue, and in these sort of venues it is always quite slow compared to if you were at a single table venue in a local league match. You do have to generate more power.
A lot of mistakes here from both pairs. Even Sam and Paul, even with the experience. No real rallies underway just yet. A lot of serve and receive mistakes. A lot of first ball mistakes. Felix and Louis, going into this match, they know that they're the underdogs. But you've got to get the ball on the table if you want to win.
Yeah.
My coach used to say to me, first 4 balls on the table. After that, especially in doubles, after that, you've got a chance in the rally. If you can play with good quality on that open up ball, get it into the right place, as you say, there you go. Felix Thomas going a little bit harder than what you may have expected on that backhand side from Felix. He did go straight into the forehand, but with that power, it was enough to earn the point.
I think nerves has to come into it as well. It's quite scary to take on the experience of Paul and Sam, so some of those first few points you've got to put it down to nerves, but I think they might relax into it and we might see a few longer rallies in this second game.
Hopefully so, because that was a whirlwind first end which went in favour of Paul Drinkall and Sam Walker. Elsewhere around the hall, Larry Trumpauskas and Joseph Hunter taking on Tom Jarvis and Dave Macbeth. Tom and Dave leading 1-0. Liam and Ashley currently locked in at 1-1 with Toby and Nahom. And then on table 6, Chris and Max have raced into a lead once more. 6-1 now in this second end. Connor and Ben both sporting their blue butterfly kit. Check that out live on TTE TV. TTE TV is free to view for all Table Tennis England members. That includes our free supporter membership. Check out our website, tabletennisengland.co.uk. Find out how you can make your free supporter membership and gain access to all tables on TTE TV. Tables 2 to 6 being live streamed over there. But the only place you can watch with commentary, Chris, is on table 1 here on YouTube as Louis Price and Felix Thomas take on Sam Walker and Paul Drinkall.
A good start for Louis and Felix this set.
Another beast serve coming up. That one's float. I think Louis' float serve is so easy to read compared to his others. We got float again. Sam's flicked. Oh, that's
block.
great play. We'll be having a look at that one again. Probably the rally of the match so far.
Great control.
Nice from Felix there, setting up the play, taking the point out. That's what doubles is all about, setting up your partner. That's the benefit of having the serves. That's why you see the players communicating under the table with their pre-agreed hand signals for what spins on the ball, setting up each other to take the ball out and win the point. 2-2 here on table 1. See again there, electing to spin into the forehand side from Louis Price. As I mentioned earlier, you know, myself and Chris Doran picked up that might be a credible tactic with the ball not coming through, especially in doubles where you've got to step out the way and make space for your partner. Chris, if you had to pick one player from this year's Nationals, who would you choose to play doubles with?
I'd probably want to play with, to be honest with you, Chris Doran, because I'll be there more for the enjoyment. I reckon we could have some good lob and rally, some big.
Chris squared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's stick with the Chris's. Might be a bit difficult to get around him. He might get him away a bit, but we'll manage.
I think myself, I'd have to either go for the experience of Paul Drinkall, and he's so fast, he's deceptively quick around the court, or rely on Liam Pitchford's backhand flick.
I think the other thing as well is it can be quite good to have right-handed, left-handed combo. You tend to get in each other's way less than if you've got two right-handers and particularly two left-handers. So maybe someone like who's playing on this table here, Felix or Louis, would be a nice combo.
I've played a lot of doubles in my career with Louis Price in the British League and also training together at Grantham College. And Louis is a good doubles partner, especially with the serves. Some of them often drift long, I think, in this match so far, which gives Sam and Paul an opportunity. I think that's something that Louis and Felix might need to tighten up if they're to turn the tide in this one. 4-4. 2 beast serves coming up. Good flick from Sam there again. Going into the wide forehand seems to be the tactic, the trend in this match. On table 2 on TTE-TV, Jarvis and Macbeth currently 1-0 over Trumpauskas and Hunter with the score at 10-all.
Strong forehand there from Paul.
Great rally there from the experienced pair. Let's watch that one again. As with our instant replay feature. I think Louis Price needs to come away from serving that float serve. It's giving Sam too much opportunity to take his time and set Paul up, and Paul took it away perfectly there.
I think the difficulty is if you try and add more spin onto the serve, it can drift a bit long, and he's trying to keep it tight at the moment.
Paul and Sam just starting to pull away now at 7-4. See, Sam's keeping it tight with that short backspin serve. Louis tried to touch there a little bit too high and give Paul the opportunity to get in. Whereas we've been seeing from Felix and Louis a lot of float serves, a lot of half-long serves, and half-long off the side. Not necessarily off the end of the table, but off the side. And Paul's so experienced, so great on that forehand, he's going to pick it up.
Yeah, you've definitely got to make it bounce twice here. You don't want it drifting off the end. Anything off the end is going to get snapped up by these top players.
Oh, Paul Drinkall went for the famous Paul Drinkall flick. Wasn't successful on this attempt. Paul Drinkall later today out in action in the men's singles, taking on Isaac Kingham, another young man from towards your area, Chris.
Yeah, he's on the border over in Suffolk. It's one of your teammates, isn't he, in the Championship division? Nice
little around the net there from Paul Drinkall, flexing his muscles now as the pair lead 9-5. Yeah, Isaac, speaking to him yesterday, really excited at the prospect of taking on Paul Drinkall. I must say, a little bit more timid than probably what I would like to hear from one of my teammates who's got an amazing experience coming up, taking on the legend Paul Drinkall. Says he's just going to go out there and give it everything he's got, which is all you can do.
Exactly, yeah, and he had a great day yesterday. He had a really tough group.
Taking out Larry Trumpauskas and Adam Dennison. Sam Walker faces Max Radiven in the men's singles, with Louis Price facing Cheyenne Siraj. Cheyenne, the number 8 seed, the lowest of the seeded players that didn't have to play in the group stage. See, there you go, Chris, like you mentioned, double bounce, probably wasn't a double bounce. Sam could have picked that up, but you know, it's one of them backbreakers. Do you go for it, do you not? If it makes you think, it takes a little split second out of your rhythm, and there you go, off the side of the table. Sam's able to pick that up, as we mentioned earlier, now giving themselves 2 set points in this second game. Sam to serve. Oh,
Very
great
strong
rally.
backhand.
What would you say? Which has been your favourite rally of the match so far? Was it the Sam Walker block across court, or was it this one at match point? Let us know in the comments what you think has been the best moment of the Mark Bates Limited 2025 Senior National Championships so far. We'd love to hear your feedback. Anything that you'd like to see, let us know in the comments. Any interviews on our social media channels, please let us know.
Can hear some noise coming over from table 6. It's getting quite close now.
Max Radiven and Chris Doran taking on Connor Green and Ben Piggott. Radiven and Doran now leading 7-4 in this all-important third end. Heading back to the main action on table 1 now. What does Price and Thomas have to do here if they're to turn this match around?
Well, I think one thing we've seen, they definitely need to keep their serves tighter. They can't let the serve drift off the end, because as soon as they, if Sam and Paul pick that up with a heavy forehand spin, that's making it really difficult for them. I think they've just got to get a solid spin on the table as well. We can't afford to make any cheap, unforced errors against this level of opponent.
And we've seen that Sam and Paul are making a couple of mistakes here. It's just getting in that position to force them to make that mistake. Louis and Felix probably not lasting in the rally as long as what they would be liking to so far. There we go.
Nice spin up from Louis, nice and controlled. Another strong forehand there from Louis. Ooh, again, another strong forehand.
After this match, we're heading to the mixed doubles, into the all-important semi-finals. Number 1 seeds yesterday, Tom Jarvis, Tintin Ho, succumbed to defeat against Robert Pelk and Sophie Early. Probably the shock of the day here at day 1 of the Senior National Championships, sponsored by Mark Bates Limited once more. Good rally here. Oh,
Lovely.
Sam Walker stopped that. Step round the backhand side to play the forehand. Louis probably guessed that he was going to go cross court. Sam using the wrist and the forearm there to hook round the ball a little bit more. Bomb it into the backhand and gave Louis no opportunity to return it. 3-all. Louis Price serving. Paul's so good on that flick, proven over the years. It's really one of his key strengths. I'm sure we'll see it later on in the singles event. Wasn't successful on this attempt. Commentator's curse, I think. As we mentioned earlier, table 6 live on TTTV. Doran and Radiven, Piggott Green. Huge rally.
And a nice tight serve there from Paul.
When you look at the men's singles draw this year, Chris, obviously Paul in the same quadrant as Liam Pitchford, which means if both players are successful, if Paul's able to get past Isaac Kingham and Andrew Bagley, he may face Liam Pitchford, good friend and famous teammate of Paul's from the 2018 ITTF World Cup. Both players earning a bronze medal over in Kuala Lumpur, along with Sam Walker and Dave Macbeth in the team too. Very successful year that for England, 2018. Obviously hosting the World Championships in London, the Team World Cup in London. See, I'm getting all excited for the 2026 Team World Championships in London coming up in 2026.
Yeah, that's going to be a great event. They're going to plan similar to like what they're doing here in Manchester. There's going to be a fan zone. We're going to try and get schools to come along. We're going to try and make it a really good event.
Let us know who you're excited to see coming to the World Championships in London 2026, and also the WTT Star Contender in London later this year. Not one WTT is enough for us in England anymore. We're scaling up. We've got 2 WTT competitions coming at you. Star Contender, open to anybody in the world to enter. Close set here. Set 3, the all-important set. 8-6 now to Drinkall and Walker. Can they pull away and secure this match? 3-2. Sorry, 3 straight. Mistake from Drinkall on the receive. If you had to pick your match of the round for the men's singles, the last 16, where we'll see 3 of these 4 players compete, what would you say?
I think an interesting one is Cheyenne and Louis Price. I know that's one that I spoke to Louis earlier. He's looking forward to that game. I think that one's probably the closest matchup of the last 16.
Louis and Felix clawing the way back into this one. Paul with the serve. No luck there for Louis and Felix, and I think that's a trend in this match. There's been no luck on the side of Price and Thomas, with Walker and Drinkall now having 2 match points. Almost cruising the way into the men's semi-finals in the doubles here. Louis and Felix still fighting hard, 10-9.
Paul puts
Unforced
a backhand
error.
at the end.
One match point saved. Really important from Felix here to try and keep that ball short, and I think when you're a bit nervous, you probably will have less spin on the ball. Sam there trying to look for that flick. Oh, and Louis top edges it. An opportunity to get in, but sadly misses, and Paul Drinkall and Walker take the match 3 games to love. Live on table 1. Chris, now you've got to get back to the fan zone for the big coaching sessions coming up. Thanks for joining us here on table 1 as the action resumes with the mixed doubles getting underway next.
Thank you.
hey, yeah.
Welcome back to the David Ross Sports Village in Nottingham. It's mixed doubles semi-final stage here at the Mark Bates Limited National Championships. We are live on YouTube on Table 1. We're about to watch Robert Pelk and Sophie Early take on the twins from Nottingham, the local kids, Connor and Anna Green. If you are wanting to watch Table 2, that match is just getting underway as well over on TTE TV. That's got Joseph Hunter and Tia Yu up against Cheyenne Siraj and Jasmine Wong. We'll be getting underway very shortly. Anna Green actually has not long finished the women's doubles match, so this match is running very slightly behind the other one, just as you can see in the knock-up at the moment. And of course, Sophie and Robert took out the top seeds last evening, Tom Jarvis and Tintin Ho. Not a single previous winner left in the mixed doubles at this stage, and in fact they weren't in the quarterfinals either. Josh Bennett was the last one who went out. So we are going to have new names on the trophy. I've got Connor Whitehead alongside me to commentate on the match. How do you think this one's going to go, Connor?
Hello and good afternoon to everybody, and I can see this match being a really close affair after commentating Connor and Anna's match yesterday against Max Radiven and Rachel Isles. Connor and Anna, clearly some teamwork between them, obviously twins as you mentioned, taking on Robert and Sophie who took out the number 1 seeds. I think this could be a very super close match. I think probably the two most dominant players in the match, maybe Connor for that pairing and Sophie might have a big part to play on the other side. I think Robert is probably underrated in some respects. I think yesterday's quality on the backhand flick and around the net really shone against Tintin and Tom, so really excited to see how this one unfolds. Robert going for that re-loop there, probably a little bit out of position, across the legs, making it difficult to get the ball going in the right direction, let's say. Paul, who's been the most surprising act of this year's Nationals so far, in your opinion?
I'm not sure it's a surprise, but I mean I've been very impressed with Abraham Salado. It's certainly beating 2 higher ranked players in the groups, and he's earned a tie against Connor Green a bit later on this afternoon in the singles. But Abraham is the National Cadet and Under-17 champion, so is it much of a surprise? Robert Pelk, as you said, as well, he's underrated. It's an interesting combination, isn't it? I think Sophie's been injured, so potentially sorting out the doubles pairings a little bit later than other combinations. So that's not to say that she didn't have much choice, and Robert's a very fine player, but just maybe a slightly later combination to arrive. So the early running with the Green twins as they are 5-2 up. Pelk to serve across to Anna. That just keeps them hanging on to the coattails there, 5-3 down. Yeah, lovely flick down the line, makes it 6-3. Connor seized on that one. Just missing it. Connor's backhand serve there just opened up the space, but Anna couldn't quite put it away down the line. So 6-4 now as we come to Sophie's serve. Yeah, Connor all over that one. Slightly loose serve and powered straight through the defences. So 7-4, just pulling out a 3-point lead now. Can Sophie get this one on the board just to stay in touch? Green just, I think they must have clipped the top of the net because Green quick to just hold up his finger in apology. So now 4-point lead at the second towel break. Players allowed to just have a quick towel down every 6 points. Yeah, nice backhand flick by Anna there. Too much power for Sophie to handle. And looking like already an unassailable, well, never unassailable, but certainly a very handy lead at 9-4. Sophie just missing that forehand has brought up 6 game points. Pelk to serve though, one point at a time. We've seen leads like this whittled back. Or will the twins take their first opportunity? Long Anna pushing it long, but Sophie able to power that back. One saved. Oh, and Connor just missing there. Just trying to block return that back across court. 2 game points saved, but now it's on Anna's serve, so the Greens with still 4 game points. Yeah, beautifully flicked away there. No chance for Pelt to get a racket on that, so first blood to the Twins.
Super start there from Green and Green. Green squared, as we was referring to them yesterday. Obviously another Green in this year's competition. Sister of Connor and Anna, Erin Green. Currently in the women's singles, and she'll take on Tiana Yu this afternoon in the last 16. Paul, what do you think, from a technical perspective, what do you think Sophie and Robert have to do in this match to get the best results?
They've got to get on the front foot as early as possible, I think, because Connor and Anna are certainly not going to hang about wondering. And it's just about trying to wrest the initiative away, get in on the third ball.
Yeah, I think you're definitely correct there. I think the idea in doubles is obviously to serve short, make the other pair look to give a weaker receive. You know, the tactic in doubles is often to hold short with the touches around the net and then pick up that half-long ball with heavy topspin, or hopefully capitalise on a higher ball and get in early. Set 2 underway here with Connor and Anna Green taking the first point. The second end, currently on table 2, which you can watch live on TTE TV. Siraj and Wong, last year's finalist, are leading Tiana Yu and Joseph Hunter. Glad to hear that the sound sounds slightly better today. And no, we're not playing in a swimming pool. Send in any questions you may have about the event or any of the players in the comments, and we'll try to answer them accordingly as the event goes on. Only the 2 tables in action in this round of matches as we get into the semi-final stage of the Mark Bates Limited National Championships mixed doubles event. Sophie and Robert mentioned to me yesterday when talking to them back of house that now their expectation and ambition, less so expectation, is to reach the final, and Robert really hoping for a medal at this year's event. Sophie a little less full of expectation and ambition, with it being the first nationals, really open to seeing what happens.
Yeah, that's right. She was due to play last year, of course, but got an injury not long before the nationals, and pretty much taken the full year to get back to proper fighting conditions. So she'll certainly be pleased to have got this far in the mixed doubles. Potentially she didn't expect that. Certainly joined the top seeds in the first round. You probably don't expect it, but they're holding their own. They'll get that bronze medal whatever happens, and it could be more, of course.
I think, as you mentioned there, obviously Sophie with that injury, whenever there's a hip injury, especially in table tennis, you know, we've seen Dave Macbeth have an operation on his hip previously, a bit of a doubles expert himself, makes a big difference.
Yeah, and Paul Drinkall, if you go back a few years as well, and just before he won the Spanish Open, that was his first tournament where he, in his own words, realised he could still do it at that level after his hip operation. Tom Jarvis has been under the knife as well. It's a key area, isn't it?
Of course it is. I think it's a little bit in the technique, and if you roll the years back even further, Gavin Evans, probably what we speak about in our time out on our Table Tennis England YouTube. Gavin speaks often about his injury to the hip and how that actually ended what was a really promising career.
Yeah, absolutely, leading European junior. Every expectation to go on and achieve great things in the senior ranks, but it wasn't to be, and he's probably got the next best role. If you can't win the titles as a player, then coach the top players. I can tell you, by the way, that it's now 1-1 on table 2 between Siraj and Wong up against Hunter and Yu.
You speak there about promising young talent in Europe. Connor Green, recently, obviously Connor's still a junior player, this year reaching the last 16 at the European Championships out in Sweden, and also recently making his senior debut at the European Championships in Linz. Connor have a really strong performance there, passing the group stage, exceeding expectation, eventually losing out 3-2 to Finland's Benedikt Ola.
Yeah, he came from 2 down, I think, in that
He did,
match,
yes.
didn't he?
And Benedikt Ola went on to stretch the winner, Alexia Lebrun, number 9 in the world, to 4-2. He was actually leading 2-1 at that tournament. There you see there, Connor great on the backhand. I think that's Connor's main strength, and actually Anna's main strength. I think Anna in the women's game, I think in the hall when you look round, probably has one of the best, if not the best, backhand topspin.
Yeah, Connor's got a very good flick as well, actually, on the backhand side.
Sophie as well, really strong from all around the table, especially on that backhand, really comfy away from the table. Sophie already this season in her first national event in England, winning the under-21 National Cup. Really interesting to note that at that tournament she defeated Mari Baldwin 3 games to love, and actually Sophie is in that same quarter as Mari Baldwin in the women's draw.
It's funny, isn't it? The 2 top halves of the men's and women's singles draws are kind of a little bit top heavy. You think in the men's you've got how many national titles between Drinkall, Pitchford, Bagley. It's amazing. It's tightly packed, that top half.
As you mentioned there, a list of national titles. Pitchford's hoping to tie level with Paul Drinkall on 7 national titles, while Paul could really push on if he's successful at this year's nationals and make it number 8.
Yeah, that's right. Paul moved into second place outright. Des Douglas, of course, the great Des Douglas, is top with 11 titles. But
Oh, lovely forehand down the line from Connor Green. Probably point of the match so far. Green and Green got 2 game points here in this second end, really asserting their dominance now. Anna, I think she's got something to prove after her and sister Erin just went out to Maya Sultan and Letitia McMullen in the women's doubles. A lot to play for now in this mixed event. Great flip from Robert, that's what we mentioned yesterday against Owen Jarvis. Robert really good around the net, using that backhand flick there, keeping the pressure on. This is a big point. Robert, I think you've got to be careful at this stage of the match. You don't want to do too much and make an unforced error, but at the same time you've got to put Connor Green under pressure. Robert didn't do that there. Weak receive.
yeah, that was dispatched, wasn't it? That gives them a 2-0 lead and very much in control of this match. And catching up the second semi-final fast. That's in the third, and it is currently 7-6 to Hunter and Yu.
There we go, we just see that point once again. The action replay. The game point. Super backhand from Connor Green. Both Greens with a great backhand. Being coached at Draycott and Long Eaton Table Tennis Club.
You mentioned the women's doubles earlier, Colin. I can just update actually on what happened in all of those quarterfinals, because a couple of the players who are still in action have gone through. So Jasmine Wong, who's in action on court 2, she and Tintin Ho were safely through against Sally Hughes and Holly Holder. And Sophie, who we're watching at the moment, she's partnering Eva Eccles in the women's doubles, and they got through against Ella Pashley and Sienna Jether. As you mentioned, Anna went out though alongside her older sister Erin. They went out to Letitia McMullen and Maya Sultan. And Tia, who's on court 2 at the moment, is partnering with Mari Baldwin. They're the second seeds, and they went safely through against Anna Piercy and Rachel Isles, and it will be Tia and Mari up against Letitia and Maya in the semis, and Tintin and Jasmine against Sophie and Eva.
Thanks for that, Paul. Really good roundup of the results from the women's doubles. I think main shock of the day so far, Liam Pitchford, number 1 seed in the men's singles, but 3rd seed in the men's doubles, partnered with Paralympic hero Ashley Facey, lost out to Nahom Askadom and Toby Ellis, juicing the 5th. Toby and Nahom reaching their 2nd men's doubles semi-final.
How much of a shock is that, actually? You know, obviously Liam Pitchford, our top player at the moment, but when there's one para player involved, how big a shock is that?
I mean, I think Ashley is competing at that level. I think Ashley wouldn't mind me saying this. He's probably not as sharp as the others, just coming out of retirement for this event to play doubles with Liam. I think also back in the day when Ashley was training a lot, his level probably isn't as high as Toby or Nahoms. I'm not saying he can't beat them in a singles match, which he probably has done before, but I think his level is slightly lower. But you're hoping that the combination of Liam's backhand flick, left-handed serve, the lefty-righty combination, Liam's experience would have been enough to take those guys out and reach the semi-final. But I think Toby and Nahom live together, they practice together. There's a really good connection between the two. Maybe not as much of an upset as what it may look on paper. As we go into a timeout here on table 1, called by Early and Pelk, definitely needed as Green and Green take a 4-1 lead, already leading 2 games to love. Some great feedback in the comments here from Elvis Pratt. We are streaming every table live across YouTube, table 1, tables 2 to 6 TTTV. The first time we've ever been able to do that with Table Tennis England. Great achievement. A landmark event here at the Mark Bates Limited National Championships. Mark Bates, the sponsor for all of our national championships across the age groups this year. Some huge events coming up, Paul, in England. We've got the WTT Feeder Manchester coming up in April, followed by the WTT Star Contender in London. What an event that's set to be. Followed by, in 2026, the World Championships. Not only the World Championships, the Centenary World Championships comes back to the home of table tennis, comes back to London.
It's so exciting, isn't it? I mean, the Feeder last year was our first WTT event. We used to have regular English Opens under the old ITTF Pro Tour, but the first one, and the chance to see some of the best players in the world up close, I mean, it's not to be underestimated. And we'll see even better players at the Star Contender. And at the Worlds, I mean, there won't be anyone missing.
Paul, tell us 3 players you'd love to see at the Star Contender in London.
Oh, good question. I mean, I love Felix Lebrun. I think he's just great to watch, so much energy and passion. So I'd love to see him there. We won't see Marlon, but I would like to, if that were possible. We saw him in the Copper Box in 2018, and I mean, just what a player!
The legend, the GOAT.
Yeah, well, I never really got to see Janove Valner in his prime. There are those who would argue in his favour and those who argue for Marlon, but I like the way Calderano plays. I like the way Harimoto plays. On the women's side, no.
For me, it'd have to be Adriana Diaz, that little bit of flair.
Yeah.
The Chinese players, we know they dominate that scene, and I don't think anybody's ever going to knock them off that perch. But I think Adriana Diaz brings a little bit of flair, brings in a couple of fans.
Yeah, I like Shocks as well. I think she's a great player to watch.
Spent a little bit of time with Bernadette Such over in the Europeans, and seeing her fight the way she does. She takes it really seriously, fighting hard on the table. Playing with that famous pink rubber. Early and Pelk fighting back here, 6-4. That's the thing with table tennis, it's so marginal. If Green and Green, they already have a 2-point lead, can they look to keep that lead? There we go. Now that lead stretches into 3 points. All of a sudden it becomes 4, 5. The next thing you know, you've shaken hands and the match is over. It's now or never for Pelk and Early.
They've got to put a bit of pressure on the green serves. I mean, you think, let's make sure our own serves are tight and try and control those rallies as much as we can. But of course, if you're behind, that's not enough. You need to put the pressure on the opponent's serve.
Just answering the question from Mary Vanderpump in the comments. How can I choose my match? For those of you watching at home that might want to watch more matches at this year's Mark Bates Senior National Championships, head to TTE TV, where it's free to watch for all Table Tennis England members, including our free membership, which you can find on our website at tabletennisengland.co.uk under the supporter membership. Gives you access to TTE TV. From there you can choose tables 2 to 6 being live streamed all day long. Coming up on table 1 we will have the mixed doubles final.
Yeah, that's going to be a standalone final, so that will be the only stream running at the time, the mixed doubles final. We go back onto all 6 tables after that. At 1:45 is the time to remember. You'll want to be able to see the early rounds of the women's singles.
Brilliant. Looking forward to that, Paul. Here we go. 9-6. Green and green advantage at the moment. Good spin up. Really good quality on that first ball there from Sophie Early. Very spinny for a female player. Something we see often in the female game is that there's a lack of spin sometimes used. I think some of the better players in this year's event that will go deep into the competition are using a lot more spin. Actually, we have a lot of Pimples players in the women's singles. Tiana Yu, Jasmine Wong, Tintin Ho, Mari Baldwin, using a variety of different Pimples. 3 match points earned there for Connor and Anna. One match point saved there, Sophie and Robert. At this stage, Paul, if you were playing at 10-8, what would be going through your head?
Keep the ball on the table. As simple as that.
I think it's a fine line between keeping the ball on the table and being too passive.
Yeah.
And that's what Sophie and Robert need to get right here. Oh, there's nothing you can do against that. Quality from Connor Green. Good friend of mine, Connor Green. Know him really well. Know he's feeling relaxed before this match. And you can be relaxed when you're a player of that